paper. How did you achieve that at home?
Well, I didn't have a studio or anything like that, so it was a matter of running up the hall past the lounge with paper and joining pieces. And then the priest at St Thomas's, he let me use the church hall. So we went back to the very old-fashioned, we didn't use modern measuring instruments. All it was a nail in the floor and a piece of string, and I could arc out on the church floor where all the pieces of the windows went. And because it is a very big arc swing in here, and in the old days they used to chalk it on the floor and everything. Well, basically these were done the same, you know, with the old concept.
Traditional artistry and
Yes,
design and tradesmanship of stained glass presentation of windows. John, the feathering that you've talked about in the presentation and preparation of glass, how is that achieved?
The presentation of the
feathering.
The feathering, well, you have a what they call a badger brush. You put this coat of pigment over the glass, and it can be mixed with honey, beer, gum arabic, just to give it a binder. Even if you touch it with a finger, it'll take the paint off. Well, it's put on with a badger brush, which gives it an even appearance, particularly on pieces like the flesh, the hands and that. The rest of it, we use it as a stipple. And then with brushes, or we use feathers as a quill, and you scratch away the glass all the time, working with a mile stick that you don't put your hand on it, or perspiration, and you gradually clean off the paint, and this allows the light, they call it halation, the light comes through and it alters the direction, and this is it's still done with the same old methods, you know.
Righto. Now, some of the colours that we've got presented there, how do you achieve those colours on glass?
All those colours are in the glass, except they're known as silver stain, which gives you the yellow. The other colours are all in the glass, and you can buy, red is always known as ruby, so these are what they call flash glasses, where they started with a blob of colour, say clear glass, and they dipped it into ruby red, and then they blow it out and then cut it and lay it out. So over the clear glass you have a thin layer of this ruby, and this is where you get this lovely grains going through it. But you can have ruby on red, ruby on green, ruby on blue. So you then, with acid, like we have done on the stars, eaten away the blue that's on the white, and it allows the stars, and on many of the things like the, where are we now? What with the hearts, so on the window over there, the hearts they were ruby on white, and so we then ate away the ruby with acid, and then once it was fired again we put silver on the back, which gives us the yellow. So on that one piece of glass, we've only actually put one stain on that, which is the silver. This is why it is known as stained glass.
Right. Yeah. Now, could you tell us now, how did you get in